About 2 weeks ago, I went and bought a second-hand loom. This is an American-made loom. Before I could start weaving on it, though, it needed a little bit of work. It had been finished with a varnish, which seemed to have been bleached in some areas, and was covered in these marks. I'm also personally not a huge fan of varnish, and I much prefer wax. So I found some 80 grit sandpaper that we had, and I sanded all the varnish off the wood. Before I did this, though, I washed down each part with a solution of water and vinegar and let it dry before sanding. I started on the front beams and took the varnish and the marking off there, sanded it down and buffed in a nice layer of wax. I then did some work on the treadles, doing the same thing, washing, sanding, waxing. It was amazing to see the difference and the way that this brought out the grain in the wood. Then it was time to remove the shafts. I took all the heddles off, and I removed all the rust that was on these bars. There are 2,080 heddles in total, and I've decided to polish all of them because I really don't like the finish, and at the moment they really stick as I'm trying to move along. Instead of polishing them all in one go, though, I've decided to polish the amount that I need for each project. For example, my first project needed 520 heddles. After I had removed the shafts, I carried on doing more sanding. This back beam had some of the most visible damage to it, and I thankfully had a little bit of help with this part. It was then time to put the shafts back on the loom. I did a bit more waxing on some of the places I thought could do with some more. I then reattached the beater bar and screwed on the front beam. I didn't have a spanner that fit, though. Then I put the cloth roller on. Then I found a piece that I have no idea what it's for. But now that I'd cleaned up all the wood and the rust off the metal, the loom was back together and I was ready to start weaving on it.